Hi everyone, my name is Dino and welcome to the EUniverse. Mainstage has finally arrived and let's get right into the action with Group A. Let's talk about the last hope of Greece and Cyprus, ANARTHOSIS FAMAGUSTA.
Και πήραν αυτό τα όρια και έχει να χουκ κιόλας του QPT πάνω στον Κιν και ανόρθωσε δεν τελειώσει από ό,τι φαίνεται. Τώρα το παιχνίδι φλασάρει, QPT κάνει και το φλέι κιόλας. Double kill ακόμα ένα για τον Dominant.
Παίρνει δύο kills πολύ σημαντικά ο Dominant. Υπάρχει η Ulti, η οποία θα ανοίξει εδώ ο Τζος και δεν θα κερδίσει
τίποτα. Ναι, με τα minions κιόλας και επόμενος στόχος είναι ο Σύνοξ, ενώ είναι και ένα build. Η ανόρθωση μόλις το 20 λεπτό πάει να αποτελειώσει την game space. Ο μόνος ζωντανός είναι ο Jack Black και Γουλού, Ντόμι, Τζόζος, Λόκι και QPT. Είναι ξανά οι 5 αυτοκράτορες του Summoners Rift. Επιβιώνουν και φέρνουν εις πέρας την τελευταία τους αποστολή. Μια αποστολή που είχε μόνο 3 λέξεις. Defend the throne.
Clutching it out in playoffs to get the first seed might have surprised some fans, but finally this famous Cypriotic sports organization has made it to EUMasters. Their road so far was a wild ride and they will try to embrace that chaos and bring it to the main stage. The roster had a shaky start in the beginning of the season, swapping a lot of players in the jungle position. In the end, pulling aboard a GLL mainstay player Dominant in the jungle seemed to be the winning formula. His impact, along with the sea of experience their Polish support Qubit has, seemed to turn the tide for this roster, allowing top laner Wulu, mid laner Jojok and AD carry Loki to shine in teamfights. But make no mistake, the player to watch on this roster is the catalyst for their success, Dominant. During playoffs, this jungler was involved in 75.6% of his team's kills and had a first blood percentage of 75% as well. Keeping him out of the game will be the key to defeating ANARTHOSIS FAMAGUSTA. But that's way easier said than done, since this man has played every role except top lane competitively in the past. This seems to be a big reason why he keeps finding the right place in every lane, but it's probably also the explanation to how he makes Garen work in the jungle. Looking at their groups, ANARTHOSIS might need to pray to their gods on Mount Olympus, so that they can make quick work of their Italian neighbors and then try to show to the teams from the cold north that Cyprus has way more to offer than just pearly white shores.
Hello, my name is Black Gator and I'm here to introduce Berlin International Gaming for the group stage.
Zur Stelle und jetzt kommt man einfach nicht an Kidui ran. Niedermain ist da, Pride Soccer kann ihn nicht töten und Kidui holt hier den Kill. Big jetzt dabei, vielleicht den Spitzholen-Gadget dabei, der Flanke mit dabei. Kidui ist da und der Taunt, was ein chaotischer Fight. SLT jetzt, SLT ist da und hat hier Damage, holt sich die Kuh und holt sich auch den nächsten Kill. Und damit holt er auch den Sieg für Big. 3:1. Big ist neuer Meister der Primeleague.
Big returns to the international stage after missing EUMasters in 2020. Sticking with their head coach Arvendir, who has won EUMasters in 2019, Big revamped their roster around their mid laner Steven Rikachen. They brought in the French top jungle duo from GameWard that caused upsets in playoffs versus the likes of LDLC and MISFITS Premier. They rounded out the roster with a strong mechanical bot lane duo with Kirui and Seas. There are many reasons why you should be excited to watch the first lead out of the Prime League. Don't worry, I got you covered. There are strong individual players, but that's not the only thing. What's really exciting about them is that they act as a strong cohesive unit that manages to come back into games even if they are behind. They have the best macro out of the Prime League and their preparation always looks strong. If you want to see exciting games, then you have to watch Big. All there's left to say, go big or go home.
Hi everyone, my name is The Fake One and I'm here to talk about Kick from the Polish Ultraliga.
Zaczyna podchodzić Melon leci, próbuje do przodu, świetna beczka, która kompletnie rozbija IHG. Rzucają się wszyscy na odizolowanego, wyalienowanego, sam jak palec Melonik. I teraz Kick po prostu idzie, dobić niedobitków, wjeżdża po Illuminar Gaming, wjeżdża po finał Ultraligi i 4-osobowy Shockwave. To za mało, bo póki style jest triple kill, będzie kwadra, ale chętnie nie będzie. Ta klątwa pozostanie, ale klątwa piątej mapy BETIS.
This is only Kick's third split in Ultraliga, yet they managed to make it into the finals and claim an EUMasters spot every single time. And it has to be said, those EUMasters tickets have not been wasted on Kick, as the team managed to make playoffs both times last year and even made it into the finals in spring. Unfortunately, they couldn't beat LDLC, but even then, Kick has made ERL history with the Pokemania, a massive social media campaign that made pretty much the whole world acquainted with the team's star player, Pokestyle. Unfortunately, Kick did not manage to retain the roster from 2020 summer, but kept the core of Pokestyle, Matisław, while Raxor rejoined the team. The newer additions of Kackos and Brunes have been deemed downgrades, but the team grew into a solid formation over the spring. Their playstyle is slower and more focused on teamfights than it used to be, but similarly to last year, the bot lane still provides a very strong 2v2, allowing Raxo to impact the map, which is one of the most important aspects of how Kick likes to play. The support is definitely the player to watch, as his map movements have been crucial in terms of securing leads for other matchups and controlling the early game. This also means that getting good 2v2s for the bot lane is a massive part of Kick's drafting. This year's EUMasters groups are pretty stacked, but to be perfectly honest, I think that Kick has been fortunate with the draw. Their main rivals will certainly be BIG, who are one of the tournament's favorites, but the two other teams don't look as scary as their German counterparts. While the Greek representatives don't strike me as competitive, I would still be wary of MKERS with their top-centric gameplay and drafts, especially knowing that Kackos' laning phase is sometimes susceptible to early ganks. I still think that Kick should make it out of groups though, and they will definitely try to make playoffs as messy as possible. Anyway, that's it for now. Go and enjoy some other great regional content from your favorite creators. Bye!
Hello everyone, it's Moonboy from the PG Nationals here to tell you about MKERS.
Ultraliga infatti deve muoversi in diverso modo, la torre viene distrutta, ora pushano per questo inibitore, arriva anche il predatore da parte di Ultraliga, prova a prendere il sbaglio, ma viene abbattuto subito da Toxi, si va tutti giù per terra, canta a utilizzare il pugnale di piume, istinto omicida, destina da parte di sbaglio, cadono tutti quanti i giocatori degli Zero Tenacity, signori, ve lo dico, è il destino che arriva qui, sono i MKERS che vanno al group stage, manca veramente poco, signori, è la volta buona in cui l'Italia porta due team in group stage, i MKERS ci riescono!
After many tries, Italy finally managed to get both teams into the group stage. Play-ins were a great showing for MKERS on their first EUMasters appearance, only dropping 2 games to SCHALKE Evolution. And as you got to see, Doxy is absolutely crazy. Topping the tournament charts in damage share and DPM, he led his team to many victories. But don't let this distract you from our man in the mid lane though. Dzyro is a player to keep an eye on. His playmaking ability shows every game, be it with a Shurima Shuffle, a Shockwave, Syndra's one-shots or Seraphim's show-stopping solos. The only thing better than watching him play are his winner videos on Twitter, so make sure you're following him, cause we're gonna get a lot of those. Overall, Group A seems to be a tough one to get out of for Kick, so I wish them good luck on their matches. Maybe they can get a couple wins up the Garen jungle team. Jokes aside, I ran some tests during play-ins and tried my best to curse MKERS out, and even I couldn't do it. So I don't see anyone stopping these guys now. We're going straight to the top.
If you only look at the players, you might think there's 2 Polish teams in the next group, Group E.
Hello ladies and gents, my name is Maguire and I represent Polish Ultraliga. Today I'm here to talk to you about reigning EUMasters champions and winners of last Ultraliga season. AGRO.
Nashor za 10 sekund, czy Agoro chce o niego walczyć? Wygląda na to, że tak. Miwak, jego wejście całkiem wytrzymały, ale pamiętajmy o tym, nie może tego robić wiecznie.
O, już nie tak bardzo wytrzymały.
Shockwave zmarnowany. Laker! To jest misja samobójcza, wyeliminowany Matisław! I teraz nie ma też spokój Styla! Oni to robią! Agoro walczy!
Nie wierzę! Nie wierzę!
Ty jaśnie! Agoro kompletnie wyrąbało Kick!
Since AGRO joined Ultraliga, they have never missed the final and won 2 out of 4 of them. Even though all of the players from the EUMasters winning rosters have left, AGRO managed to complete a very strong looking team, and believe me, they mean business. AGRO likes to control the pace of the game and outsmart the opponents with brilliant moves. Usually they don't take many risks, but if you're looking for action, you should keep an eye on their bot lane. The star player of the team in Laker showed us the great strength and reliability of a matured player who aims for perfection. In my opinion, he was the winning factor and the best signing of the season. His hypercarry performances played a crucial role in many victories and led AGRO to another title. With Woolite being in his group, Laker has a chance to prove that he is the best Polish ADC. As for expectations, every Polish fan would like to see first back-to-back champions in EUMasters. And you know what? I couldn't agree more. Anything but final is going to be a disappointment. So brace yourselves, because AGRO is after you. And when they catch you, you better be saying Polska górą!
Hello everyone, this is Noah, and I'm going to introduce you again to our Group B representative, J2 ARTIC.
pasando.
ARTIC está
Fanatic
bueno, pues
Racing
bien la base.
vaqueando. Los minions que pueden acabar la partida entre FIAs. Va a acabar aquí la partida. No puede hacer nada. Fanatic Racing se llevan a FIAs por delante, pero Supa quiere limpiar la fight. Oscarín a punto de transformarse. Va a pillar a Price sin problemas. El bueno en Lock Rook. Pero la pelea es para G2 ARTIC. Triple para Supa. Pero no éramos malísimos, Skane. Pero la Superliga no iba a pasar al main event. G2.
U2 Academy made its way to the main event in a pocket edition of the European Classic, beating Fnatic Racing with a clean 2-0 in a best-of-3 series where they were far from being favorites. Spanish fans can be proud of the team's improvement during European Masters, especially the bot lane of Suda and FES that went through some hard times during Superliga. With bot lane in a very good shape, U2 ARTIC jumps into the main event as a top contender. They know how they want to play and don't tend to throw the lead when they have it in their hands. In the play-ins EUpdate, I told you to watch Frescoe closely since he's been the keystone of the team, but now I want you to pay attention to Koldo. Quick moves, smart pathings, and a solid synergy with his lanes made him quite dangerous. Also, we are sending to LEC a jungle per year, so keep an eye on this one. U2 ARTIC comes in extremely good shape and with their homework done. Have your teams done theirs?
From the EBL comes the first seed, SIAM SUPP.
Zna koga udara ovde, Clown je trenutno sam protiv svih i pašće 1-4, dok s druge strane Kelem također dugo tankuje, ovaj Sion je mrtav, Nikola zaključno kataklizmi ne može pobeći također Kantos, jako čudan Arke Shift bačan kako bi pobegao od Vizije, zapravo uskočio u njega i ovo su 3 kila za ekipu ZTN-a i SUPP bez Clownija mogu da probaju da završe game. 2 Hours pokušao da backdooruje, srušio je već jednog, srušio je Ryuzakija, 2 Hours baca XP-a, backdooruje bazu ekipe ZTN-a i donosi SUPP-u još jednu, treću titulu u ESPORTS Balkan Ligi.
SIAM SUPP might not ring a bell, but that's because the organization went through some rebranding. After going from Energy Pot Wizards to SUPP and now SIAM SUPP, the organization is back for its 3rd consecutive EUMasters in a row. And every single time, they've been the first seed from the EBL and their best hope to shake up the EUMasters landscape. This roster has a lot of experience since 3 players have been there every step of the way. Their top jungle with one of the best name combinations ever in Clowny and Spooky and the AD carry VZZ. Newcomers to the roster are mid laner Twohorse and Mursa, the support. And then you would almost forget about their substitute and famous streamer Baka Pras, with whom SIAM won a game when he was playing Teemo top. Coming from a jungle-centric playoffs run in the EBL, SIAM rallies around their top jungle duo to set them up for success right out of the gates, creating space for Twohorse and VZZ to farm and carry the mid-game teamfights. They like to play fast and loose, so the opposition should be on their toes in the early game. If they aren't, the strong top side will get VZZ in position to take over. Looking at the group draw, they have a tall task ahead of them, yet being the clear underdogs has never slowed this organization down. They came close to upsetting their group and making it out last spring, and this time they will pull out all the Nocturne flexes they can muster to make it happen.
Hi there, it's Fingin, and let me tell you the story of MISFITS Premier, the great 2nd seed of the LFL.
Une situation de pentakill ici pour Woolite en West, un triplé et c'est le quadra par-dessus, une dernière auto, le pentakill qui sourit, Woolite à 2 paroles, la plante explosée, mais le pentakill pour Woolite.
MISFITS is a team which has already marked the story of the LFL with a win in EUM in 2019, who won the LFL finals in 2020 and is now the 2nd seed of the ultra-competitive LFL. They also marked the European story, sending to the LEC players like Leader, Dan or more recently our French icon Jesu. On top of that, Woolite is one of the players who won the last UM with Agorog last year, and he's definitely here to defend his title. With a great player like him, it had to shift MISFITS Premier playstyle to a heavy bot side focus. They will always turn around it to provide a gold lead and snowball from it. They're also relying around a control mage at mid lane, like Orianna or Seraphine, and to enable the teamfights and the ADC. Woolite is definitely the heart of their composition. With his support Jack Troll, they have around 70% KP and are almost crushing everything in their way. So I guess that it's pretty obvious that they're here to win this title and represent both France and Poland at the same time. So, don't forget, if you have to support MISFITS Premier, spam in the chat, Allez la France and Polska Górą.
The next group might be Spain's best hope, Group C.
Hi everyone, my name is The Fake One and I'm here to talk about ILLUMINAR Gaming from the Polish Ultraliga.
Przez wieżę, przez inhibitor, przez 2 kolejne wieże i Nexus. Idą z powrotem na EUMasters, tam gdzie kiedyś byli w finale, tak teraz zagoszczą przynajmniej w play-inach.
ILLUMINAR Gaming is the oldest esports organization in Poland and is the only org that has competed in every single Ultraliga season. Their last EUMasters appearance was in 2018 during the first ever edition of the tournament. Back then, ILLUMINAR made it to the finals, but unfortunately, they couldn't beat Origin, losing the series 3-0. The current ILLUMINAR roster has been playing together for almost a year now, with only one change in the mid lane, with SCHALKE stepping in for Varshi. The team plays a very macro-heavy, clean style of League of Legends, focusing on the teamfights and side lane pressure. That is especially important considering that the star of the team is the regular season MVP, Melonic. He's had a monstrous season and his performances on carry champs like Camille or Nar were often a massive issue for any opponent, whether it's creative flanking or just straight up side lane pressure. Another big point for ILLUMINAR is Melonic's champ pool, which allows for smart corner picks in any matchup, creating big advantages in the top side. ILLUMINAR Gaming is Ultraliga's third seed coming into EUMasters, which means that they will start their journey from the playing stage. This could be a very positive factor for the team, as many players lack international experience and they will have the time to properly warm up for the tournaments. With how strong they have been in the region, ILLUMINAR should get past the playing stage and possibly make it to the groups where, depending on the opposition, it wouldn't be unreasonable to think they can make it into playoffs. Anyway, that's it from me. See you next time.
Good morning everyone, Cameron here today, humbled and honored in presenting la crème that Italy has to offer, MACKO ESPORTS.
Signore e signori, Nexus è nudo ed è finita! I MACKO sono i nuovi vincitori del B.I.G Nationals!
Campioni d'Italia!
An already successful Italian esports organization who merged in 2020 with Raccoon Esports, the head-to-head semi-finalists, giving birth to their League of Legends roster. The recipe is pretty simple. On top side, you take a former champion weak side king and mix it with a jack-of-all trade MVP of the split jungler. In the mid lane, you take a little bit of Sebex, or if you prefer to call him with his full name, Mr. Target Bandro himself. To be fair, it's pretty simple to lane against him if in your first rotation you ban Tristana, and Lucian, and Annie, and Nocturne, and Victor, and Azir, and Corki, and have a specific plan to deal with his Renekton. On the bot side, you take a one-man orchestra as an AD carry, able to switch if needed from Kai'Sa to Heimerdinger, and put on side an Enchanter's Maestro just got out an hyperbolic chamber training on hard engaged support, and you have the perfect roster to stomp the competition. This is a roster built to win, and so far they are doing great, so rest assured when I'm saying that we won't be the one screaming "Mamma mia!" at the end of the day.
Oh, you came here to play? I guess you didn't bring your mouse and keyboard with you.
Versucht es schon wieder. Dui. Aber ist der Einzige, der reinspringt. Wird aber geultet und währenddessen räumt Gadget wieder auf. Lida hier gegen zwei Mann. Knallt die Ulti bei den Seas rein. Und Double Kill, das war's jetzt. MOUSESPORTS holt sich hier den Sieg gegen Big. 2:0 in diesem Spiel und zieht damit ein ins Finale. Aber...
Ladies and gents, my name is Black Gator, and what you just witnessed is how Mouse will steamroll over the enemies if they don't come prepared. Coming in with a renewed roster around Lider, they brought in Sartorius, former EU LCS jungler Price Stalker, Worlds participant Gadget, and the French runner-up support Njawe. There are very strong individual players that will steamroll over the enemy teams if they can't match the early aggression and strength coming out of Mouse. Pride Stalker is one of the best junglers stats-wise in the whole EUMasters. He has the highest gold, experience and CS difference at 15 minutes, which backs up the fact that Mouse will play very aggressive in the early game. As a team, Mouse had issues with their mid-game decisions. The question is left to answer: will the teams withstand the onslaught of Mouse? Did Mouse fix their mid-game? To find that out, tune into EUMasters and watch it yourself.
It's time to talk about our Superliga champion, UCAM Esports Club.
Tanto a UCAM como a Real BETIS en el European Masters. ¡Ojo, LeBron! ¡Hades que lo quiere matar! ¡Entra Plasma! Es bueno el combo. Rafita con el instinto asesino. Tenemos teleport. Esta que puede ser la fight que le da la vuelta a la partida. Plasma aguanta muchísimo. Witten se lleva una kill. Pero Rafita acaba con la vida del support de Real BETIS. 2-1 en esta acción.
UCAM may be a Catholic university, but these guys are no saints at all. In fact, they play like devils, and the one leading them is the king of the underworld, Hades, a true EUMasters veteran. Yes, I know, 0-6 with Lowland Lions and 0-6 with the Fuse Kids. Yes, I get it. It's not a good record. You don't trust, okay, but I can tell that you will, since Ade's performance overtook everyone's expectations in Spain, and it will happen again in this European Masters. Ade's underrated duet was UCAM Keystone during Superliga regular season, but playoffs was the time to shine for UCAM's bot lane of Rafita and Plasma and mid laner Backup. Portuguese mid laner performed incredibly during semifinals with his Silas and Oriana, and if he can abuse of his mages, he will be for sure a problem for the other mid laners. On the other hand, Rafita and Plasma are a very dangerous combination of a classic marksman with incredible mechanics and a very good support with a nice engagement. They play methodically and with very well-rounded compositions. You have the chance to learn from our mistakes and don't underestimate this team that will for sure reach playoffs.
I can't find a more adequate name than the Group of Death, Group D.
Hello guys, my name is Goldberg from the NLC and I'm here to talk about BTXL at the European Masters.
Be it, this might just be where they close it out. The death timers are way too long. It took 3.5 years, but XL finally reclaimed their spot at the top here. They are going to win the NLC 2021 Spring.
For the past 3 years, BTXL has been known as the runners-up in the UK scene. When the UK was finally merged with the Nordic region into the NLC, the expectations for BTXL was they were at least going to finish up as second. But they didn't even make it to the European Masters last split. And with that disappointment, that brings us to this year's BTXL. In the top lane, we have world-class player Rome. While a lot will remember Rome for his time with the Mad Lions at their Worlds run, he's been absolutely smashing it in the NLC. In the jungle, we have MACKO, a First Blood king in the NLC with a 70% First Blood rate during the regular season, not someone you can underestimate. In the mid lane you have Hatrix, the pillar of the pressure in the mid lane with his dominant laning phase on the control mages. In the bot lane you have the powerhouse of Deadly and Advien who will absolutely take over games if they are not kept in check. BTX playstyle is about taking over control of the early game to finish off their opponents' new objectives with their massive gold leads and the stellar team fighting. And so this is kind of the subject or the point of the video where we're talking about one specific player. We have some B-roll running over. I'm not going to do that. This is a team with multiple threats in every single role. So watch out on all flanks, because if you disrespect just one member, it may be you costing the game. Alright, so what are my expectations for this team for BTXL? They're going to take it all. The SLO, they're going to say, oh, you know what, Primeleague BETIS, they're going to take it. The LFL, they're going to say it's going to be KARMINE CORP. Schalke, no one is going to say Schalke. There's no one who believes in Schalke. But we are the NLC, and we are here to motherfucking win. And that's what we're going to do.
Silence, everyone. I can hear the BETIS anthem.
Aquí se va a vaquear finalmente. Oscar Inil le corta el vaqueo. ¡Voy, tiene el héroe!
Esto aquí es muy bueno, cuidado porque está
¡Acaban! ¡No te creo!
Cuidado, se vaquea fresco, güey, que la torreta, no me lo puedo creer. El EUMasters que lo quiere conseguir. Mire Duque la desesperada. Mire Duque que va a llevarse la partida. No puede hacer nada aquí los ARTIC.
¡No te creo!
Ese equipo finalista.
You can take your statistics for yourself. Keep it damn, I don't care, because BETIS is magic. Primeleague BETIS has been another surprise in this Superliga split because no one expected them to even reach playoffs, since Rubio, Miniduque and Whiting ended up being in 9th place in summer 2020 with PC and squad. I don't know what they did, but it worked, and after a breathtaking split, they reached Spanish finals, defeating G2 ARTIC in semis with a solid 3-0. There is a lot of hype and memes around this team since BETIS is a historic and very loved football organization in Spain, and Miniduque is a player with a long story behind in Spanish scene. He's been playing professionally since 2014, so he's far from being a rookie, and for sure he's the captain of this team. But the most dangerous piece belongs to the jungle, where LeBron rode Hecarim's back before it was mainstream. LeBron is unpredictable, and BETIS knows how to play around that. Okay, all the team is unpredictable, but LeBron played SCHALKE in finals, so he is this unpredictable. BETIS is a very volatile team, capable of the best and the worst, but for sure you can't underestimate them. Believe me, I know we've been them committing that very mistake. They play fast and furious, and if you let them take advantage of the game, maybe it will be too late to recover. They may be in the group of death, but these guys shine brighter in the difficult situations, and the clashes with the other teams of the group will be definitely something worth to be watched and followed in Twitter.
Hey guys, I'm Mosi Ting, analyst for the Primeleague, and now we will check out Schalke 04 Evolution.
Danach wird man auf Bot rotieren. Da ist die Rotation. Der Wanderstern von Nuclear schon wieder stark genug, um hier einfach Bardo rauszunehmen. Jetzt sitzt hier der Flash. Ultimate, Fire-Kombination von Kinetic. Robber wird auch nochmal angehauen. Jetzt will man den Sack nach Hause bringen. Joppa mit dem Double. Joppa vielleicht mit dem Triple, wobei ja...
This team's identity is focused around playing front-to-back teamfights and enabling Nuclear Int to dish out maximum damage with his Sand soldiers. Now, speaking of Sand, their previous problems diminished into dust. On the first day of EUMaster play-ins, we sometimes saw SO4 Evo took fights on the wrong timings and not according to their win condition, thus leading them to losing objectives like Baron and eventually losing the game. Now, S04 Evo is looking better with Torrent and Joppa performing on a way higher standard. Nuclear Int is definitely the player to watch in Schalke 04. Previously he was playing champions like Syndra, like Silas, and was performing on such a high level. But on the second day, SO4 Evo came back to their old glory. Torrent and Obsess both performed on a way higher standard. With his fresh and his rel, Torrent found the crucial openings in teamfights, often seeing him and Obsess creating space for Kinetic and Nuclear to carry them to victory. Making it out of groups will be quite the challenge for SO4 Evo. If they want to win the EUMasters, they have to get past BTXL. This will be their first big test in the whole tournament. Thank you for cheering for Schalke, and don't forget to spam this royal blue heart to let Schalke make the redemption arc.
Hi, the ARTIC here, and I'm sure you already know their names. Even Reckless knows the beast of the KARMINE CORP.
De la saison pour sa première saison en première ligue française. La KARMINE, non content d'avoir remporté la saison régulière, remporte également le titre du segment de printemps.
KARMINE CORP is a brand new structure in France, led by a very popular streamer Kameto, that explains the tremendous support their Ultra give them. And those 5 players know how to tease their fan. They play a very aggressive style where they can skill check you in every lane, especially in the top lane, where the Petit Prince Adam represents the FC Bagarre at his climax. This can result in a pretty chaotic style, where they strive to punish their enemies, close to what G2 has been known for. You can never count them out of a game. They made so many comebacks during the split due to their creativity, straight coming out of the mind of the genius support Tagamas. Only praising their creativity would be an insult to their macro, and especially their bar power plays, where they usually crack open their opponents. They are very clear in their objectives. They are coming for the trophy and to put France on top of Europe. Recently, France lost against Spain in a showmatch and in ADC finals. It's time for revenge. KARMINE CORP, Baby Bell Hispanita.